it's Lisa with Luxury Meets Travel, and today I'm going to be answering some of your questions on how do travel advisors, or AKA travel agents, actually get paid, and how does Luxury Meets Travel do business with its clients. So first, let's start off with how travel advisors get paid. Believe it or not, we actually get paid from our suppliers. So once we book your vacation, once you actually go on your vacation and return, then we get paid a small commission from our suppliers. A lot of you book directly through Expedia or Booking.com, one of those online travel agents. Well, did you know that they actually go through the same process? So let's say you book through Expedia directly. Once Expedia gets your reservation, they send it to the hotel. The hotel then pays Expedia commission once you go on your trip. Why would you go through an online travel agent like Expedia or Booking.com when you could have a live person doing all of the bookings for you, taking the hassle out of that, the time and stress of researching? Most people spend at least 30 hours on average researching and planning a vacation, especially for a destination they've never been to. So again, with a travel advisor, not only are we saving you that stress, that research, but sometimes we have upgrades and perks because of the travel consortia that we are a part of. And there are times that we can save you money as well. And I'll give you an example about that in a few minutes. But there are times where we actually do, as travel agents, book an Expedia property. So you might see that and be like, well, why would I want to use you? Because if something goes wrong while you're on vacation, we can handle those phone calls for you and be transferred a million times through Expedia's customer service versus you having to handle those additional stresses while you're on vacation. I mean, do you really want to spend time talking to Expedia on the phone with customer service while you could be at the beach? Probably not. So for no extra cost most of the time, for small bookings, you get additional customer service. And that's another thing we bring to the table versus online travel agencies like Booking.com or Expedia. We have customer service. The level of customer service far exceeds these online agents because we can even recommend, most of us will give you additional information on where to go while you're there. Make sure you visit such and such place or such and such restaurant. Plus, because of the network of travel agents I'm a part of, we have thousands of people that travel all the time, their clients travel. So if there's a location you're going to, I'm able to reach out to them if I haven't been personally and ask for recommendations, which is way more beneficial than you going on Google, looking up random strangers' opinions on the locations that they've been to. So hopefully you can see the benefit between Expedia and using a travel advisor. Travel advisor, it's the same price typically versus, and you get the additional services versus using an online travel agent. And there's times where we can save money, as I mentioned before. For instance, I had a client recently who booked a villa, and I was able to look at Airbnb through Expedia, and I was shocked to see that I was able to use a different supplier, and it was also an Expedia-owned company, which is pretty ironic, and it was cheaper than booking through Expedia and way cheaper than booking through Airbnb. Airbnb would have been $4,000 more. And with Expedia, it would have been over $300 more total cost. So there are times where we can save you money. Not always, but there's a majority of the time where we can help you outweigh the pros and cons to your properties and add that value of giving you additional insight that you wouldn't get and saving you time and stress. Now that you can see the value added by a live travel agent versus an online travel agent, let's talk a little bit about pricing. So many agencies are now starting to add fees to their services because there's a lot of value in going to a travel agent that especially specializes in destinations. So they bring way more value to the table than you researching and spending 40 hours of your time for a destination that you've never been to. So it's well worth the additional fees that travel agencies are now proposing. So, for example, if there is a multi-destination trip, you're going to Europe or you're going to Asia, a lot of agencies will charge either by the hour, just like you would when you're going to a doctor's office or an interior designer helps you. Same scenario. They're giving you their expertise, their guidance. They have a huge network where they can reach out to individuals to find recommendations and resources that'll fit your needs. So with Luxury Meets Travel, since we are a new agency, at this time we have a few fees, but not as much as a lot of agencies are now doing, especially after this pandemic. So with Luxury Meets Travel, if you are creating a multi-destination trip, there is a service fee, which is actually at the very low end of the spectrum compared to many agencies. It's $150 non-refundable. But you can imagine there's, as we mentioned before, time and logistics and coordinating a trip, as well as making sure that all of your needs are met and reaching out to my peers for recommendations if it's a destination I've never been to. Now, for a domestic trip with just one location that you're going to, there's not a service fee at this time, but that could change down the road. So always check with Luxury Meets Travel when you're interested in booking, and we can give you the latest and greatest service fees. But at this time, there is not a service fee for domestic travel, especially if you're renting a cabin or a hotel or a condo on the beach. Many of our suppliers offer those. Now, in the instance that our supplier does not offer a particular property that you are interested in, there is a small service fee for the time and research involved, and that's 10%, okay? And then if there's any tours or activities, private chefs maybe that you want, maybe you're in Hawaii and you want a helicopter tour, but if I do the research and find a reputable company, then there would be a service fee of 15% non-refundable. All right, so all of these are all non-refundable rates. Well, hopefully that gives you an idea of how working with Luxury Meets Travel is. And of course, everything, as I mentioned, could change down the road. We are a new agency, and for first-time clients, we are waiving a lot of our fees. So make sure and reach out to us to see what we can do for your next vacation to make it memorable.